Dear students, welcome to lesson number 14, Karl Marx, State and Bureaucracy. After completion of this lesson, you will be able to understand the life and work of Karl Marx. Hegel's versus Karl Marx ideas on state and society. To explain the Karl Marx views on bureaucracy. Karl Heinrich Marx was a German philosopher, sociologist, historian, political theorist, journalist and socialist revolutionary. He was born in a middle class family in the city of Trier in Germany on 5th May 1818 to Heinrich Marx and Heinrich Pressburg. His father was a lawyer with a comfortable upper middle class income. He studied at Berlin University, where he introduced Hegelian philosophy, submitted his doctoral thesis in April 1841 to Jena University on the difference between the natural philosophies of Democritus and Epicurus. Marx's political and philosophical thought had an enormous influence on subsequent intellectual, economic and political history. His name has been used as an adjective, a noun and a school of social theory. In 1842, he became a journalist, radical newspaper. As a journalist, articulated his views on socialism and economics, criticized right-wing European governments. He is a well-known personality in the liberal and socialist movements. On the imposition of ban on the publication of the newspaper, of which he was the chief editor in 1843, Marx fled to Paris, where he met Friedrich Engels. In 1849, he was expelled from Paris for his revolutionary ideas and came to London, where he stayed till his death in 1883. Karl Marx's major works. Critics of Hegel's Philosophy of Right, which was published in 1844. The Holy Family. It is associated with the Friedrich Engels. It is published in 1844. The German Ideology. It was written along with the Engels in 1846. The Poverty of Philosophy. It has published in 1847. The Communist Manifesto, published in 1848. The Class Struggle in France, published in 1850. Hegel's versus Karl Marx ideas on state and society. Hegel distinguishes between civil society and the state. According to Hegel, civil society represents the general interest and the state represents the particular interest of the community or the society. In this point, Marx opposed Hegel's state and society relationship. According to Marx, civil society and the state are not separated. Civil society is consisting of all individuals and their ambitions and their struggles. The state is a creation of civil society and it can be a guide for the social process. Karl Marx perceptions or views on bureaucracy. Max Weber, Karl Marx, Robert Michel and many social and political scientists have expressed their views on the concept of bureaucracy. Max Weber and Karl Marx have often been regarded as the founding fathers of entrepreneur sociology or social action approach. Max Weber's idea of the state was that a state is a compulsory association which successfully claims a monopoly of the legitimate use of force within a given territory. Weber says that the state possesses the legitimate authority to exercise power over its people. Like Weber, Marx never wrote extensively on bureaucracy, but he did not overlook the importance of bureaucracy in capitalist societies. Karl Marx feels that bureaucracy is a part of the state. Bureaucracy is a central theme for understanding the modern state. Karl Marx, Kritik der Hegel Sech Rechts philosophy, which was published in 1843, extensively discussed his ideas on bureaucracy. He introduced his ideas on bureaucracy in his critique of Hegel's philosophy of right in 1921, in which he criticized Hegel's concepts of executive power of the state. Marx's approach to bureaucracy is certainly very complex. He looks upon bureaucracy as an integral part of the social system whose main function is to exploit the affairs of the community in such a way as to promote and nest its private ends. The state power plays the same role for the bureaucracy as the private property does for the property owning class. Marx writes, bureaucracy holds in its essence of the state the spiritual essence of the society. It is its private property. In an exploitative society where capitalism holds away, bureaucracy gets ingrained in society and acts as an instrument for the perpetuation of exploitation. For Marx, the erosion of the state will be achieved by the destruction of bureaucratic apparatus. For him, bureaucracy is a political expression of the division of labor, and under bureaucracy, the human subject becomes a mere object of manipulation. Marx's reflections on bureaucracy first appeared in his critique of Hegel's philosophy of right, in which he looks at bureaucracy as the institutional incarnation of political alienation. For Marx, bureaucracy is a particular closed society within the state. There are three basic elements in Marx's perceptions of the state. First, it is an organ of class domination. Second, it aims to create a situation or an order which perpetuates the oppression of one class by moderating conflicts. And third, the state being a temporary phenomenon will wither with the abolition of classes. He believes that the social structure and the state continuously evolve out of the life process of definite individuals, but individuals not as they appear in their own or other people's imagination. For Marx, state is the product of the producing activities of the totality of men in society. It is a productive activity which is of significance for human affairs. The bearers of the relations of production are social classes. Within each mode of production, there are two social classes, one which owns the means of production and the other which does not. In a class society, Marx denies bureaucracy is an organic position because it is not directly related to the production process. Marx regards bureaucracy as a parasite designated to perceive the status quo and the privileges of the dominant section of society. It is an instrument of exploitation in the state. In the bureaucratic countries of Europe, Marx observes that the task of the proletarian revolution will be no longer, as before, to transfer the bureaucratic machine from one hand to another, but to smash it. In a capitalist society, bureaucracy operates in such a way as to support and consolidate class division and domination. It is the handmaiden of the dominant class. To quote Marx, the bureaucracy has the essence of the state. the spiritual life of society, in its possession as its private property elsewhere. Marx writes, the bureaucracy possesses the state as its private property. It attempts to privatize the civil society as whole. Marx further observes that the bureaucracy